If you're going to be an artist, you've got to make your work your best friend that you can go to whatever you're feeling and have a conversation with it. Maggie Hambling. Hello. Hello from my new home down in New South Wales. I'm still getting the hang of getting back into painting. As you can see behind me, I have a studio space which would have been a family room for this home, but now it's going to be my studio. And so I've got a big piece of lino from Bunnings, and I've got to get another piece so I can cover the entire floor so I don't get any paint on it. And I've just been so reluctant to start videoing again, and I'm starting to wonder why. What is happening? And it's almost like it's been so long that, you know, the process of packing up our home in Queensland and then the move and getting settled in here, it feels like ages, and it feels like I have to start from scratch again as far as talking to the camera and making videos. So I thought, all right, well, I'll just start with a really little one. I've been making some really small paintings. I had a bunch left over that from other exhibitions and various things from years ago, and they didn't sell. And so I thought, I just haven't had the space or the bandwidth to approach a large piece of painting or a large work. But I was really drawn into these small ones, which often happens with me when it sometimes can just be time frame, or even when confidence wanes. So your self-confidence, or just how you're feeling in yourself. Things have sort of, it's a big upheaval. It has been a big upheaval to move. So I think that's what's playing out for me. And so going slowly, bringing small ways to create back in, and even trying to come back into the journal, because art journaling has gone as well. Except to say that sometimes, a couple of times, I've joined in some urban sketching type groups. There's a few of them down here, and there's one particularly large one that they meet via Meetup. And so there's all kinds of opportunities several times a month to meet with this group and sketch, and maybe then have lunch after. So I've joined them twice now. I haven't gone to the lunch after yet because I've either had something else to do, or like on the weekend, Philip and I went to Rose Seidler House, designed by Harry Seidler. It was would have been his 100th birthday, I think, coming up, or have just been. And so they're celebrating his architecture, and it's on display via the New South Wales museums. So that was wonderful, because we'd seen that on various TV shows, but to go and walk through the home and take some pictures and do a little sketching was fabulous. I'll see if I can add in some pictures here. And then this morning I was just sitting with the little paintings that I've made, and I'm not quite ready to put them on my website for sale. It just feels kind of really a tender time, and these pieces mean quite a lot to me personally, as being part of my process of this transition time. And so I think there will come a time when I'm ready to let them go, but it's not quite yet. Big green chair. She's a grown-up now, but feels like a child in the oversized green chair, reminiscent of the chairs she sat in as a child. She's quietly putting herself back together after the dismantling that takes place when you pack up everything, part with lots of pieces of your life and home. Plant friends that are too big to make the journey to the new place have to be rehomed and let go. She always feels comforted by the presence of bird friends, allies on the journey she and her soul are on. She's holding herself tenderly and going within, saying silent prayers of the longings of her heart. She surrounds herself in healing colours of the heart, pink and green. Peace is found in the present moment. She reminds herself to not run ahead into the future too far, especially before she's had time to digest and integrate the happenings of the recent past. Go gently, dear one. I haven't found a name for this one just yet, but you'll notice that this is a similar design. So all that was there before was the figure, and so there's the same shape but just a smaller version. So I made it like a little person in a large chair. That just really felt meaningful to me. That idea came to do that, and this one came, I did this one first. So just repainted the figure and then created like a room around her and a fun chair. So this is what came up when I sat with her to do a little writing. She has her eyes closed, going within, hiding in plain sight amongst monstera leaves and birds of paradise blooms. She doesn't have words for her feelings at present. She has a protective arm across her heart. There's fire in the orange, sparks and stripes of colour. She is trying to re-engage with her creative centre. Enveloped by greenery is good for her healing heart. A new environment calls her to be brave as she grieves the loss of her closeness to the sea. She's in pieces, and over time she will lovingly put herself back together. For now she feels ever so vulnerable in her bared heart and soul. Emotions roar. This little one, oh, I find it, she's just so sweet. And so what I wrote for this one is, she could be found daydreaming at the kitchen table, cup of tea in hand, held gently by her fingertips as she contemplated the imaginings of the day ahead. There's a simplicity to the ritual of sitting with a cup of tea, made so regularly it's a daily opportunity to be with one's thoughts, quietly on one's own. What a gift. Because I've been finding I'm having so much time alone, which I was looking forward to, but when you're not in flow, it's kind of one of the most uncomfortable places to be. So she's sort of wide-eyed, this girl, and you know, like she's a girl in me, I guess. And so there's a lot about this painting that I really enjoy, especially those chairs as well. So you can sort of maybe get the hang of why I want to hang out with these paintings for a bit longer. Oh, and this is the view from my studio window out the backyard. It's hard to believe, really. There's a little doggy door that we have to keep open, so we can close it at night with the little panel, but we keep that open during the day for little Aura. Have a look and listen. This is how close we are to Parramatta. Isn't that just wild? So there's trees and palm trees up here, which remind me of the coast, I suppose. Planes flying over. There's a school nearby I can hear, and childcare centres. And that's Parramatta City, over there. Sorry, I got interrupted before by my phone ringing, so I just stopped and carried on doing some other things after having a conversation. And I'm just closing up this video now, I think. I notice it's patchy and all over the place a little bit, but I'm feeling like, excuse the dog coughing up a lung behind me, I feel like I just need to ship it, you know, that's what Seth Godin says, you know, ship it, do the thing and ship it, because I'm rusty and out of practice with making videos. It's got to be expected that I might not be, you know, as having it happening as even that, I can't even put it into words really. Suffice to say, it's not easy relocating. Everything did fall into place quite incredibly well for us, and I had a little road trip with my sister. I had to fly back to Brisbane, drive up to the Sunshine Coast, pick up some things that Philip left in his drawer in his study, and then back down to Brisbane to stay with my daughter and pick up our little dog, and then drove down to the Gold Coast, picked up my sister Trish, and we drove together over 2 days, this sort of 10+ hour drive. And it was lovely. It was really special. And so that happened out of the blue. I thought I was going to have to do that whole trip on my own, and I was kind of psyching myself up for it. Like when we did the big move and the furniture came into the house, and Philip started his job on the same day as the furniture came into the house. So I had to oversee all of that. And we had really lovely guys unloading the truck. So that went more smoothly than I anticipated. And so I'm very grateful, incredibly grateful about how well the move has gone. But I'm just noticing, me with my kind of big sensitivity, it's still taking a little bit for me to catch up with me. And, you know, it took a while for me to set up the studio, and it's still got some bits and pieces I need to iron out. And so it's really hard, you know, sort of going from being, I felt like I was in a great flow and I made some big pieces, and thank goodness I did, because then I got invited by my gallery on the Sunshine Coast, Stephen Street Gallery in Yandina. They are taking a bunch of art to the Affordable Art Fair in Melbourne. And so luckily I had a bunch of paintings that I could give to them. And so that's really quite lovely, knowing that that was happening at the same time as I was packing everything up and I couldn't paint for months. So it's funny how I had a flurry of creativity before I knew anything about we were going to have a new job for Philip and move. But what I mean to say is I was in this beautiful flow of making these kind of table paintings that were just incredibly satisfying. I was very excited about them, and I thought I would just hit the ground running here and just keep making more of those. I thought, I know what I want to do. I love making those. I want to make more of those. But I haven't really got the big freedom of space yet, with the floor prepared, ready for me to be moving paint around. And so I kind of ground to a bit of a halt and just been doing housey things, and all these tradespeople have needed to come and go because various things in the place need fixing, and all of that. All those interruptions, they actually make you a bit unsettled. So yeah, but I thought it might be good to start videoing again, making these little videos, because what I loved about vlogging when I was doing it before was that it gave me something to focus on other than maybe what's not working. It gave me something to focus on. Oh, that could go in the vlog, or ideas start to drop in about something that I could share along the way. And so I love that I can use it as a self-encouragement, and hopefully if it meets you where you are, it can be encouraging to you as well. And please do comment below if something in it touched you, because it really is lovely to hear when we make such a video on YouTube, YouTubers, when it does reach out and touch someone, to hear back from you is really quite meaningful. And so yeah, don't hesitate to message back. If not below, send me an email. I'll see if I can remember to put my email in the comments this time. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.